Hello Nigerians. So today I want to show you something, and honestly, this one get as it be. This is a video from a Lagos man, an ordinary person, not a politician or not a journalist, just someone who lived under Tinubu when he was a governor. And he's saying something that a lot of people have been thinking, but nobody wants to say it out loud. He is saying Lagos will never vote for this man again, not one vote. Now, before jumping into conclusions, just watch this with me first, because he's not just talking, he's bringing numbers. He's bringing what happened with security back then. He's bringing what happened with taxes. And by the time we finish, I want you to tell me, honestly, does this man have a point, or is he just talking? If this is your first time here, welcome. This is where I break down what's happening in Nigeria. No filter, no sugarcoating. So do me a favor before we continue. Hit the subscribe button, tap like on this video, and drop a comment, even one word. Tell me you are here. It genuinely helps this channel grow, and it tells me you want more of this. Alright, let's watch this together.
Tinubu was governor. And guess what? If not that Fashola came to come and reduce the level of insecurity, Lagos would have been another gangster's state as we speak. Fashola had to come and initiate what we call Security Trust Fund. And that was when Lagosians started donating money for Fashola, for him to fight insecurity that Tinubu could not fight. Now, if you also look at the level of poverty that Tinubu left in Lagos, it was so high that Lagosians were impoverished because Tinubu was raising IGR. He raised IGR by taxing the people. We have what we call double taxation, taxing the people, and all he just cared for is for him to make money. There was no new production company that were initiated. There was no new manufacturing company that were attracted. All he just cared for is to just raise money without looking at the welfare of the people, if the people are really going through suffering or not. Now, I bring to you all the good tidings. Before I do that, let us also go to the economic situation of the country under Tinubu. If you look at the GDP level today, compared to when before APC came into power, you will see that before APC came into power, Nigeria was #1 in Africa. But immediately APC came into power, especially Tinubu, we dropped to #4 in Africa. She struggled within 4. Now, if you look at the economic growing rate as well, before Tinubu and APC came into power, Nigeria economic growing rate was doing so well. But under this government, in fact, IMF is just projecting about 4.1%, but they are struggling between 3.6 and 3.8. Now, if you look at all these indices, and you look at even the way the people are struggling and suffering today, you will agree with me that it is not good for us to reinforce failure. It is not the best for us to say, okay, we want to compensate this government and bring them back to office. If you look at what happened during Jonathan's time, just the Chibok girls kidnapped, they turned it to something else and said, no, they cannot continue like this. But under this government, we have seen like 9 or 10 or 11 school kidnapping. Now, are you saying that you are going to compensate somebody who increased insecurity? Are you saying you're going to compensate somebody who increased food inflation? Are you saying you're going to compensate somebody who bastardized the Nigerian people and made them to be more poorer? At least I have given you the figure for poverty rates under this government within 3 years. Now, imagine if such person leaves, spend another 4 years in office. You can imagine that if not over 90% of Nigerians will become poor. I don't think Nigerians deserve this. One thing they always tell you is, let's be patient with this government. I remember when Buhari came into power, they said, oh, let's be patient with him. He is doing reforms. He is initiating policies. He is laying foundation. When Buhari went, they told us again, Tinubu is laying foundation. Now, the question you ask yourself, are they always coming into power to come and be raising foundation? The answer is no. Enough of Nigerian suffering. When Tinubu came into power, the first thing he did was to initiate a supplementary budget of 2.1 trillion. And that budget was all about himself, about the senators, and about the office of the First Lady. There was nothing left for the masses to enjoy. It took him over a year before he could even talk about increasing minimum wage. He took NLC to go on strike. He took labor union, TUC and others to protest before Tinubu could consider increasing minimum wage. But it didn't take him a second before he allocated money for him to buy a yacht, before he allocated money for him to buy a jet, before he allocated money to renovate his office, which he has never stepped his foot on. Is that the kind of person that we need to bring in power? Now, let me tell you the best candidate, the man that has vision, the man who everybody has turned to a topic today, the man who is causing heads to roll in the presidency, the man that whenever he says he wants to do interview, even the president and all his essays, they stay glued to their TVs because they want to learn from his word of wisdom. And that person is Mr. Gregory Peter Obi. Now, what is Peter Obi saying he is going to do? In security, he said he will restore law and order. He said he will initiate reforms for the security architecture of the country. He will improve intelligence gathering and equip security agencies. He also promised to address the root cause of insecurity, including unemployment and poverty. And number two, on economy, he said he will shift Nigeria from a consumption-driven to economy to a production era. He also promised to increase agricultural and manufacturing output and support SMEs. And he also promised to promote export and reduce dependence on oil and stabilize the exchange rate and encourage investment. On power and infrastructure, he promised to increase electricity generation, transmission, and distribution. He also promised to encourage private sector participation in infrastructure. And that's why he said that when it comes to education, he said he's going to do what we call PPP, where it will allow the private sectors to also be partnership in our country's education. And by so doing, probably he will tell them that, you know what, 1% of your profit, you should also invest it in education in the country. And by so doing, a lot of people will even benefit from scholarship instead of giving them student loan that will become a burden on their neck. And if you come to health sector, he promised to strengthen the primary health care and improve hospitals and healthcare financing and retain medical professionals by improving working conditions. And when it comes to governance, this is one place that Peter Obi have stood out differently. He said he will reduce the cost of governance, he will fight corruption through stronger institutions, he will respect the constitution, which he has always done, and for the youth development, he will create jobs for the youth, support innovation and technology. And one thing about Peter Obi when it comes to ICT is that he has seen the vision long ago when he was investing in education in Anambra State, where he equipped the secondary schools by giving them laptops. And he also ensured that even the teachers were given enough training through seminars and courses. And you all can see the result that Anambra was coming first among every other state in Nigeria. And he is bringing that same experience into Nigeria. Now, if you also, now let us even talk about the person of Peter Obi, because sometimes if you want to talk about people, you also look at their character, their leadership acumen, and their leadership skills and every other thing that they have acquired as leaders. Now, number one, let us even look at the awards won by Peter Obi. In 2007, he won Man of the Year award. And the reason why he was given that award is because of his leadership and public service. In year 2009, he won the most prudent governor in Nigeria. And guess the reason? Because of fiscal discipline and prudence in governance. In that same 2009, he won Nigeria's most trustworthy governor. And the reason he was given that award is because of integrity and transparency in leadership. In year 2010, he won ICT Governor of the Year. And guess who gave him the award? West African ICT Development Award. And he won this award because of his investment in ICT. Imagine as at 2010, he was already investing in technology. And that was why we said that if we have a leader who has a vision, the country will not be where it is today. In year 2011, he won the Zik Leadership Prize. In year 2012, he won Best Performing Governor in Immunization. Now, you can see that even in health sector, this guy is also performing. In year 2012, he won Leadership and Good Governance Award. In year 2012 again, he won Golden Award on Prudence. In year 2012 again, he won Outstanding Financial Planner and Manager Award. In year 2012, he won Man of the Year Award by the Business Hallmark newspaper for leadership and public service. In year 2013, he won Man of the Year Award. In fact, I remember this year, he won it alongside with Fashola, if I'm not mistaken. He won Man of the Year Award. In year 2014, he won Outstanding Example in Leadership Award. In 2014 again, he won Most Outstanding Igbo Man of the Decade. Now you ask yourself, that why is it that when it came to the turn of Peter Obi, the whole of the Southeast stood for him? It's because they see him as outstanding when it comes to the Southeast leaders. Now, if you ask yourself again, other people in the Southeast have come out for president. The Igbos did not turn in for them. But when it comes to Peter Obi, they didn't vote for him for tribalism's sake. But they voted for him because of that leadership quality that he has, which is outstanding. Now, in 2014 again, he won Golden Merit Award. In 2014 again, he won the... Okay, let me just realize it because I don't want to talk about church. He won this in the church. The church gave him an award. Anglican gave him an award. Catholic gave him an award, and so on. But now let's go on. In 2020, after these guys have left government, 2020, guess what? He won Governor of the Decade Award. You know, he left government in 2014. As at 2020, they still recognize his contribution and they gave him Governor of the Decade. And what was the reason? For his overall performance as the governor of Anambra State. In that same 2022, he won Man of the Year Award. And this is somebody who has left government. Even leaving government, he was still recognized. And I challenge the Tinubu supporters. They should come and read out the award Tinubu won when he was governor. Now again, if you look at some of the achievements he achieved as governor, when it comes to financial management, he even, in fact, it was for the first time I saw that it became something people were arguing about, that somebody saved money. Somebody did not loot money. He did not embezzle money. But people were accusing him for saving money. If everybody took that initiative and said, you know what, we're going to be saving money for the incoming governor so that they can have something to work with. But what are they doing? They are leaving debt. They will tell you, oh, Tinubu raised IGR from this amount to this amount. But the question is, did he also leave money for the incoming governor? The answer is no. He left huge debt. And at the end of the day, you ask yourself, what is the essence of all the money that he was raising in IGR? How come we could not see infrastructural development in Lagos State under him? The only thing they attribute to him is to tell you, oh, he has one template. A template nobody has ever seen. If you ask them to show you that template, they will tell you, oh, whatever Fashola achieved, whatever Ambode achieved, it is also what Tinubu has achieved. And to me, that is it's just rubbish. Now, let us even look at the position Peter Obi held.
The level of disrespect and see-finish APC has for masses not be small. They believe they can win people over with things as little as bread. The reason they feel that way is because of how Tinubu's administration has affected the lives of many Nigerians through hardship and hunger. They believe they can use this small gesture to influence ordinary people. However, I also blame those who accept these things from them. Anyway, 2027, fingers are crossed. Let's wait and see how the master strategists will try to deceive the people again.